Hello, this is Kate from dailytarotgirl.com, and today I'm going to show you how to read a tarot card for a specific question. So you've probably had this happen where you'll be doing a reading and you'll ask a question, you'll turn over the card, and you're familiar with the card, so you know what the card means, but you're not sure how to interpret it in light of the specific question or situation so that it makes sense. So you might think, okay, I know what this means, but I don't know how it's going to answer my question. So I just wanted to give you a sort of a mini demonstration of how I would go about reading the same tarot card in different contexts. So I'm going to ask 3 totally different questions, and I'm going to show you how I would read this card in those 3 different contexts. Okay, so the first thing you do when you turn over a card is you want to think about putting on a pair of sunglasses. And you've probably heard the term looking at the world through rose-colored lenses. So you want to think about putting on these like magic sunglasses, and you're going to look at the card through the lens of the specific question being asked or the specific issue that this reading is related to. And once you do that, and you look at that card in that light or in that context, you want to pay attention to what symbol your attention is immediately drawn to. So this is where you're using your intuition. So your intuition is going to kind of glom onto a specific symbol here, and you want to notice what that symbol is. So let me give you an example. Let's say you're giving yourself a reading and you've asked the question, when will I meet my soulmate? And you get the moon. Now, when I put on my glasses, what immediately jumps out to me is the face in the moon. Now, your attention might be drawn to something totally different. Maybe your attention is drawn to this little lobster guy at the bottom. And that's the beauty of tarot, is that, you're never going to get a cookie cutter interpretation. Everyone's going to see the cards slightly differently. But my attention is drawn to the face in the moon. And for some reason, I'm assuming that this face is female, and she seems to be looking down, and she seems very, very judgmental and kind of disappointed. And so I might kind of explore what that symbol means to me. So I might ask, who in my life does this represent? Maybe it reminds me of my mother or my aunt, or the sort of critical voice in my head that says things like, oh, you should have met your soulmate by now, or something like that. And then I'm going to want to sort of explore that, because that's a key to answering my question, when am I going to meet my soulmate? Now, you also want to take into consideration the traditional sort of book meaning of the card as well. Now, for me, the moon is all about things being hidden. So not everything is clear, not everything has come to light. The big picture has not yet been revealed. There's still things under the surface that are waiting to be explored. And sometimes the moon is associated with the subconscious, with dreams, and things that we're not fully aware of, but that still have an effect on us. So in order to answer the question, when will I meet my soulmate, I feel like this card doesn't, give me a specific date. Instead, it's saying that there's things yet to be uncovered, maybe things working subconsciously that I need to explore. And once I've explored those things and released them, I'm going to be more open to meeting my soulmate. And of course, those subconscious things that I mentioned have to do with this symbol of the moon and that sort of judgment, that feeling of judgment. Now, let's ask a different question. So let's say the question is about health. So let's say I'm doing a reading for myself, and I ask about my health because I've been having some strange physical symptoms. I don't know what's going on. So I ask, just for some insight about what's going on with my body. And I get the moon. Now I'm going to put on my glasses. That's going to let me look at the moon through the lenses of health and healing. And right away, my attention is drawn to the 3 different shades of green. So if you notice here, the lawn is like a light green, and then further back it's a dark green, and then further back it's like a dark blue. Now, right away, I feel like this has to do with different levels of consciousness and going deeper into one's subconscious in order to uncover something, which of course is kind of what the moon is all about anyway. So the message could be that something like hypnosis could be helpful for me to uncover what's causing my symptoms, or even analyzing my dreams and paying attention to certain dream symbols. And then again, I'm going to kind of step back and then consider what the traditional card meaning is and how this might relate to my particular question. So the moon, is about something that maybe I'm not aware of that's affecting my health. So something that I'm not aware of, and part of my path to healing would be about becoming conscious of what that is. Now, let's shake things up a bit. Let's ask a totally different question. So let's say I'm doing a reading for myself and I've asked the question, should I apply for the job? So it's one of those yes or no questions, which I don't like asking with the tarot, but a lot of people do ask yes or no questions. So I've asked the question, should I apply for the job? And I get the moon. Now, again, I'm going to put on my glasses. I'm going to look at the moon through that lens of, should I apply for this job? What do I need to know? And right away, my attention is drawn to the path going off into the mountains, but also the little scorpion guy coming out of the water. So to me, I feel like this card is saying that this is an important step on my path. Applying for this job is an important step on my path. And there seems to be a real feeling of emerging. This little sea creature is emerging from the water and stepping onto the path. So for me, that feels like a yes. That definitely feels like a yes, I should apply for this job. But then I'm going to take a step back and I'm going to consider the traditional meaning of the moon and see how it relates to my question. Now, because the moon is about, things being hidden, not everything being clear, I feel like this could be saying that I need to know more about this job. I need to learn more about it before I apply. Even though applying is an important step on my path, I still need to learn more about it. I need to be more informed and more educated about it. And now this is where you really get to blend the traditional meaning of the card with your intuition. So notice that, I'm exploring my intuition first, with putting on the glasses and just noticing what symbol my attention is drawn to. But then I'm also taking into consideration the traditional meaning of the card. And that's what I love about tarot, is it lets you do both of those things. And I think that's, always important to do. So one thing I want to mention before I let you go is when you're doing a reading, don't always expect the card to give you an answer. I find that often a card will either spark an idea in me, or it will lead me down a certain thought path, or it might remind me of something. But I feel like the card will often act as a doorway to the answer rather than being the answer itself. So I hope that makes sense, because especially when you do a reading for yourself and you turn over the cards and maybe none of them make sense right away and you feel like, your reading really didn't give you any answers. Just shift your perception a little bit and let go of that expectation that the card should provide you with answers, and see it instead as each card being a doorway to finding the answer. And that will make, I think, a world of difference in your readings. So I hope that you found this mini lesson helpful. My name is Kate. I'm from dailytarotgirl.com, and if you would like to read the written version of this tutorial or of this mini lesson, I will post the link. It will be a pop-up in the top left-hand corner of this video, and I'm also going to post the link in the About section of this video. And if you enjoyed this lesson, please visit my website, dailytarotgirl.com, for more video tutorials. I've got plenty of free tarot card spreads and all kinds of great information on learning tarot. So once again, my name is Kate from dailytarotgirl.com, and best of luck with your tarot readings and your tarot journey, and thank you so much for watching.